everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today is all about your wrists and fingers and hand strength. So I have many complaints from my clients about wrist strength or grip strength or pain in fingers, arthritis, things like that. And many times the common thought is to just rest them and not use them. But movement can help reduce pain, and it can also help bring back some of that strength in your hands and your wrists. So I'm going to give you a few ideas as far as stretches and range of motion and strengthening that you can use anytime. You can use them while you're watching TV. You can use them while you're waiting for your tea to warm up. You can do these types of exercises anywhere if you're riding in the car, that type of thing. So first, we're just going to start with simple range of motion. So you can think about doing wrist circles. I've done this type of thing with your ankles, so the similar thing you can do with your wrists. You can do wrist circles, start in one direction, then go back in the other direction. You can do it for, 5 or 10, do maybe a minute each, whatever, just to get some blood flow to that area and get some range of motion. Now we're going to point and flex. So we'll point and flex this way. Nice and slowly. If your arms get tired doing this type of thing, you could rest them on your knees or rest them on the chair of your, your recliner or your armchair, that type of thing. And now we'll go sideways. So we're going to, that radial and ulnar deviation, or just kind of like you're waving. Okay, just to get warmed up. Now, next, taking a dishcloth or something similar to wring out. So I have some little flexi bars at my gym that work really well for this, but you can wad up a TheraBand, or you can use a washcloth. You can, like how you wring out washcloths. I'm just going to wad up my TheraBand here and use this. So starting it like you're going to wring it out, we'll go that way, and then we're going to go opposite direction. So we're going to wring it both directions, just working on that wrist and grip strength here. Now, it may not take very many before your hands and your wrists get tired here. Wring it as hard or as light as is comfortable to begin with. I'm going to do about 5 each direction. Now I'm really getting a lot of forearm in here as well. You can probably feel it working. That's part of your wrist strength. These extensors and flexors in your forearm are also part of what makes your wrists strong. Okay, so we'll do just a few of those. Working on that, you can just do it over a sink too. Get a washcloth wet, wring it out a few times, working on that. Okay, now we're going to work on specific forearm strengthening, wrist strengthening. I've got a light pair of dumbbells here. I'm just sitting on a ball because it's a comfortable space to do this. You can do it seated on a chair or standing. It doesn't really matter. This one, however, doing these dumbbell exercises works really well if you sit on a ball or on a chair or something. We're going to start with wrist flexion. So I'm going to hold these lightweight dumbbells, and my forearms are supported on my knees because I want only my forearms to do the work here. If you're doing them like this, it's easy to bring in your biceps, those stronger muscles. So we want to isolate those wrist flexors here. So you can let them go all the way down on your fingers and then curl them up. Just be sure that this is a safe way to do it. So we're getting a good full range of motion here. Curling up. Nice and slowly, both directions. Now, if this is something that you struggle with, this may feel pretty difficult to begin with. Your muscles are probably getting pretty tired rather quickly. And then if you don't have small dumbbells, you can use soup cans for this. That actually works really well. Okay. Now, if you need to rest in between, next we're going to do wrist extension. So same, but we're going to turn your hands over so that the back of your hand is facing out, and we're going to go backwards like this. So now we're extending your hand using those forearm extensors. Let them go all the way down straight or bent right down here, and then bring them up as high as is comfortable. We don't want to create pain here. Nice lightweight movements here. And if the weight that you've chosen feels like too much, you could just do it body weight. Same thing, really isolating those muscles both ways to begin with, okay? Okay, now, you may have seen those hand kind of exercise eggs, things like that. If you've got those, go ahead and grab them. If not, I've got a racquetball here that I can use, or you can use Play-Doh. Play-Doh actually works really well. Play-Doh or putty or like thinking putty. Sometimes that thinking putty is really strong though. I've got a couple different strengths of those hand exercise eggs at my gym. But I've got a racquetball here. It doesn't squeeze super hard, but you can still do the same thing. I want you to go finger by finger. And since I've only got one, you can press each finger to each other. You can do this without anything too. Pressing between your thumb and each finger slowly. And if you've only got one, just alternate and then do body weight in between. This is working on manual dexterity and individual finger strength, okay? And then you can also squeeze. So just squeeze and make a fist. So here I'm squeezing the ball. This works great with Play-Doh. If you've got Play-Doh later on for your grandkids, or you can use it too. Good squeezes, just making a good strong fist each time. You can also do this with a washcloth, that type of thing. You can get inventive. Maybe leave me a message in the comments of something that you found that works really well for you. Okay, now similarly, we did all of the flexing with each finger and your wrists or your grip. Next, I love these little vegetable bands for this exercise. So you can take these little rubber bands, put them around your fingers, the distal part of your fingertips, and then now we're going out. We're working on the extensors. Try to pull with each finger. So it's easy sometimes if you've got one that's weak to let the other ones do the work, and then that one doesn't. Like if this finger was weak and these are pulling out, I'm not pulling with that one. So really focus on expanding that rubber band with each finger, working on those extensors. I've bought specific little TheraBands for this exercise, and the easiest one and the next one up are about the only ones you can do. Then they get really hard and almost impossible. These little vegetable bands that you get off, asparagus and broccoli and things, actually are about the perfect resistance, and they're cheap. They come with your vegetables. So I just keep them and use them for this and give them to people. Okay, only do as much until you get kind of that fatigued feeling. So don't keep going and make pain. If any of these hurt and make more pain, stop. But we're working on gently increasing your wrist and hand strength here. Okay, so those are the exercises for today. Like I said, you can do these anywhere. Sitting in the car, you could keep, a thing of Play-Doh and a couple of rubber bands in the car and work on some strengthening. You could also just do that. Think about body weight and range of motion. You can work on that. And if you find one is where you really struggle, you could try to work on that a little bit more often. Just like exercising other muscles, I want to work on stretching. So one easy way to stretch your forearms, your flexors, is to put all of your fingers together in your palms, stick them flat together, including your thumbs. I know sometimes this is a problem where your thumbs turn in, so stretching that out, putting your hands together, and then just pressing with your elbows. So that's stretching all of those flexors. Try to hold that prayer position. All of your muscles, all of your fingers are touching and trying to press together. And then we can stretch these muscles by taking your hand. I'm going to straighten out my arm here. And I'm going to pull gently back on the base of my hand here. And you should really feel that stretching up through here in your extensors. Again, you want this arm straight, because if you do it with your elbow bent, you kind of, you lose some of that extra stretch. So stretching and in a comfortable range of motion here. So you're just stretching a little ways. You're not really pulling and trying to cause pain, just a nice gentle stretch. And then you can also do that this way. The only reason I don't like this one is look at my thumb. It's hard to get that in there. You can make sure that you get that with your hand. Kind of spread your hand out and get that thumb so that you're stretching that thumb as well. Again, straight elbow. One more great way to stretch these muscles is to go to a wall and start, you put your hands against the wall and start high so that you can put your hands flat on the wall, and then you can move your hands down to where it's comfortable, where you're getting a good stretch all the way through your forearm and then all of your fingers. This is a great way to do them both at the same time. And you can move down further depending on how flexible you are. This might be it. This might be stretching a lot, but this way you can kind of determine where you feel a good stretch. You can do this as well, but it's not as comfortable on the backs of your hands. Okay, work on those. To begin with, let me know if you have any questions, need any modifications, or if you need more ideas. This is a good one to get you started, and lots of tiny little muscles being worked there. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, everybody. Have a great workout, and we'll see you next time.